Hey, what's up? You already know what it is. I'm Jay from MJ Auto Detailing, based out of Agoura Hills, servicing Los Angeles and Ventura County. Today I'm going to be walking you through my level 2 exterior step by step.
What type of car do we have today?
Today we got a Jaguar X-Type. This is a 20-year-old car. She hasn't had a detail in a while. She says she consistently had a detail for about 20 years. The last year she stopped getting it detailed. She had some issues with it, so she brought it. She said, you know what, I need to start getting it detailed again. She found me, she hit me up, she's ready to get it detailed. So we're gonna do a level 2. We're gonna completely reset this thing. We're gonna do a clay bar treatment, and we're gonna do a 6 to 12 month sealant on this thing. Again, we're gonna get this thing looking like brand new.
All right, Jay, so what's the first thing you do on your level 2?
All right, level 2, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with the tires. You already know we wanna start with the dirtiest areas of the vehicle. Again, if I start with the body and then go to the tires, I might get some dirt back on the body. That means I'm gonna have to clean the body again. So I just don't wanna do the same job twice. So I'm gonna start off with the wheels. After that, we're gonna hit the paint, pre-wash with the paint. We're gonna loosen all the dirt up. After that, all that heavy dirt is gone. I'm gonna go in with a contact wash. I'm gonna rinse that off. After that, I'm gonna do an iron remover, and then I'm gonna do a clay bar treatment, and then we're gonna seal it up with our 6 to 12 month sealant.
All right, Jay, what are we using for the tires, man?
Okay, so I just switched up the Clean Tech breaker. That stuff is amazing. It really is amazing. Something like this, I probably would have needed some acid for. There was the other day, I was doing a client a favor, I did an extra. I was like, let me see if I could just spray it on, rinse it off. Sprayed it on. I let it sit for 2 minutes, rinsed it off. It was an amazing wheel. So again, I really do like this Clean Tech breaker stuff. Very similar to Brake Buster, but I just think it works more like an acid, but it's not an acid wheel cleaner. So that's what I got on here right now. I got Geon iron remover, and then I'm gonna start off with my Max Shine mitt, and we're gonna get to it. All right, so we just finished up with the wheels. Now we're gonna do a little pre-foam. Again, I like using Geon pre-foam, pH neutral, still really strong. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and dilute this. I use 5 ounces in a 32 ounce bottle. Just a little measuring cup that I can use. You dilute it 5 to 1. So that's about 5 ounces. I think it's like 5.3 ounces or something like that. I tend to go on the lighter side just because I don't want it to be too strong if I'm putting it on the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and foam this down, and then I'm gonna let it sit on for 5 minutes. After that, I'm gonna rinse it off. That's gonna take off all the heavy dirt and grime. So then when I go on for my contact wash, I'm just getting light dirt, light film off. So I'm not gonna be swirling the paint. I'm not gonna be putting any dirt that might be sitting on the paint right now. I'm gonna go straight on it. I'm not gonna rinse down the vehicle now, because if I rinse it down, that's gonna dilute the product a little more. It's cool paint right now, so I'm gonna just go straight on with the dry paint. So for me, I'm gonna start with the lower panel because that's the dirtiest. That's gonna foam down. I'm gonna hit the top, so that means all that top's also gonna hit down, so that bottom's gonna stay covered. It's gonna work the longest. All right, so we just finished up with that pre-rinse. We're gonna go into our contact wash now. The car is basically clean. I just wanna make sure if there's any light dirt film on there, I wanna rinse that off. So again, I'm going with the 1 bucket method. If you don't know the 1 bucket method, these flat outs are really creative for it. They're amazing. Auto fiber, use 1 for each panel, and that's gonna be the safest. I never have to dip used mitt back into my clean bucket. So all my mitts are gonna be going into the bucket clean.
And Jay, does this car have any protection?
This car has 0 protection on it. Sometimes cars do. This one does not have any protection. So again, my level 2 is gonna be a great option, especially right now. It's July going into August. We're in California. It's hitting 100 degrees almost every day now. Making sure you have some sort of protection on your car right now is gonna be super important. Make sure you don't get any clear coat failure, UV damage, stuff like that. Getting a clay bar and a 6 to 12 month sealant is gonna be amazing right now. I usually say do that twice a year, yeah, every 6 months. This person hasn't done it yet, so we're gonna do it today. In 6 months, hopefully they come back, they get this package again, yep. All right, so we just did our contact wash. It's fully clean now. I'm gonna rinse it off, and then we're gonna do our chemical decontamination. I'm gonna use iron removal. During that process, I'm also gonna do my clay bar treatment, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. But let's rinse this off, then we'll go to the next step. All right, so we've rinsed everything off. We're gonna go into our 2 decontamination steps. We're gonna do a chemical decontamination, iron removal. Again, removing any particles that might be on there, anything embedded into the paint, we can remove with that chemical. Next, we're gonna do a physical decontamination. So again, just like your skin, clear coat is porous. So things get stuck in those pores. We wanna pull those out. They're not gonna come out with the typical wash. We're gonna wanna use something like a clay bar or a clay mitt. Now, a lot of people ask me, for this package, I don't do a polish. They ask, well, why don't you do a polish on it? Well, one, some customers, this is their daily car and they know it's gonna get swirled up. It may already have some defects, some imperfections in the car. They're not worried about how it looks. They wanna just make sure that it's protected so that anything in the future doesn't get worse, right? So again, also another reason is because these clay mitts, these are synthetic clay, so they're not as abrasive as your traditional clay bar. This has perforations in it, so it's also gonna lift up those things and they're gonna stick in that. So again, this has a very less likely chance of marring your paint and stuff like that. So traditionally, you don't need to polish your vehicle after this. This is a great option if you're not gonna polish and you're trying to save some money, but you still want that quality. This is a great option. So again, that wash, clay, and seal right there. All right, so just like we used on the wheels, I'm gonna use Geon iron to decontaminate the paint. After I spray it all on, I'm gonna throw on some foam so I can let it dwell for longer. At that point, I'm gonna massage the paint. I'm gonna start to use that as my lubrication for my clay towel. Again, what that's gonna do is that's gonna let the iron sit on there. Also, with me using the clay towel, it's gonna allow me to massage that iron into the paint, allowing it to work even better, yeah? All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna wanna break in our clay towel. So again, you're gonna wanna fold it in half. Then you're gonna wanna fold it in half again. That's gonna give you 4 sides. You're gonna wanna break it into the glass because the glass is pretty strong. You're not gonna have to worry about scratching it. Again, glass can scratch, but this is synthetic clay. So again, I'm gonna flip it over once I feel like that's broken in a little bit. Again, you can clay glass. You wanna make sure that is good too. With this package, we're actually gonna seal the glass also. So you're not just gonna get the paint sealed up for 6 to 12 months, but you're also gonna get the glass sealed up. That's gonna be great for the rainy season. You're not gonna have to use your windshield wipers as much. All right, now that my clay towel is all broken in, I'm gonna start off with a big section, so the hood. Now typically when I wanna do this, I wanna do full panel strokes. Yeah, this will again limit the chance of marring or scratching or swirling, yeah? So again, you can hear that? Let's see if you can hear it. It's pretty rough. So we just wanna make that really smooth. That's gonna allow for that sealant to really stick. So again, we got that iron working for our chemical decontamination. Now we got the clay mitt at the same time working for our physical decontamination. All right, so we just finished up with that iron, that clay bar. Now we're gonna dry it off. We're gonna put some paint prep on it so that we can remove any type of protection or any residue from anything that might be on there. Then we're gonna put on our sealant. For me, I'm gonna use Absolute by P&S so I can help this dry as a rinsing aid, as a drying aid. I'm gonna help this so that I could dry this car quicker. I wanna use something that doesn't have protection. Again, I'm gonna be putting protection on this. So this is just a rinseless wash. So it's great drying aid also. Make sure, again, I'm not applying any swirls or scratches. This is gonna add that lubrication while I'm drying it with my towel. All right, I just dried it off with my towel. Now I'm gonna get all those tight areas with my blower. This is the Ego 765. This is great for those tight areas, especially the wheels and tires. All right, before we do the panel prep and apply the sealant, I'm gonna restore the trim, so I'm gonna dry all this. I'm gonna do that now so that if there's any overspray, I can get it off with the paint prep. So this is gonna be trim restoration. So again, when plastic gets dried out, you're gonna need to revive it. This isn't a permanent solution. If you want something that's more permanent, you gotta go with a ceramic coating type of solution. But I like this Instant Shine from 3D Car Care. I like the spray because it can get into all those tight areas. Again, I do notice that there is some overspray with these bottles. You can even just go straight on the towel and get these tight areas, so you don't have to worry about that overspray. But again, if you're just doing your panel prep afterwards, you're gonna get off on any of that overspray anyways. So that's why I like to go in that order. Gas cap, I always think that's the important one because people do look at it, they see it, they fill up their car with gas all the time, right?
All right, Jay, what's next?
All right, so now we're panel prepping the car. So we're using Geon Prep. This is alcohol-based. This is gonna, again, remove any type of sealant, protection, residue that might be on the car so that we can really get our sealant to stick as best as possible. If we can get it to do that, then it's gonna last for as long as possible. So again, we say 6 to 12 months. That's an estimation. It's really gonna depend on how you take care of your vehicle. Is it kept outside? Is it kept indoors? Are you somebody that gets your car washed regularly? Do you go through car washes? If you're gonna go through a car wash, then it's gonna get stripped because those chemicals are pretty high, so that's not gonna last as long. So making sure you continue to maintain it is also gonna be a way that you're really gonna see it reach that 6 to 12 months. All right, we finally got our vehicle completely prepped, ready for our sealant. Today I'm using Defender Inspiration by P&S. It's a great product. We're gonna spray it on the entire car, wipe it off, and then we're done with our exterior.
Now, a potential customer might say, okay, this sealant is gonna last me 6 to 12 months. What's the best way to maintain it?
Okay, the best way to maintain it is gonna be getting a wash at least every 2 months. Now with my level 1 wash, I'm gonna do a topping sealant on it. So that's gonna be a 1 to 3 month sealant. So again, that's gonna boost this sealant up so that if it is clogged or anything like that, we'll unclog it and get it right. So again, once a month, you're gonna wanna get an exterior wash with the sealant. But if you can't do that, I say every 3 months, yeah? Every 6 months, make sure you get this level again. Typically, I like to say, right at the beginning of the summer, that's when you're gonna get it done. It's about to be hot. Then right before it's about to be that rainy season, those are the best times to get this package. What's up? So that is the step-by-step process for our level 2 exterior detail. If you're located in the Los Angeles or Ventura County area, you already know what it is. MJ Auto Detailing has you covered.